President Franklin D. Roosevelt called the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on Hawaii a day that will live in infamy. Now, decades later, Americans are still remembering that solemn day that launched the United States into World War II.
ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Kate Garner showing us how some mark the anniversary of the attack in Ogden.
Now separate us from the attack on Pearl Harbor. But here in Ogden, Utah's oldest American Legion post ensures that the people lost that fateful day are never forgotten.
We also give thanks.
A prayer, a three-gun salute, and the playing of taps, all part of the tribute.
You know, when the war started, I was living in the mountains in Colorado. We're a long ways from the war. We knew it was bad, but we didn't know how bad.
Now in his 90s, Sergeant John Cole was one of millions of young men to heed the call and serve his country in the wake of the attack on Pearl Harbor.
And I made it in at the tail end of the war.
Having served a short time, when the Korean War broke out just a few years later, Cole once again stepped up, serving on the front lines.
I should have never made it back to the States, but somebody had to be looking after me to make sure that I did survive. It had to be, because there's too many times that I should have died. You know, I should have never survived in some of the fixes that we got in because there were so many of them.
Like many who remember the attack on Pearl Harbor, Cole would dedicate his life to fighting for freedom and remembering those who died doing the same.
He's a very good symbol for what men actually stood for back in those days, and he volunteered for everything and continued to fight in different wars.
He is a walking history book.
While those in attendance honor America's living heroes, they also remember the 2,400 people who lost their lives during the attack by throwing red carnations into the Ogden River.
I was stationed in Pearl Harbor in 1972 through 75, so I spent many tours down on the Arizona, and that's where it all started, and it's very important for us to remember that.
I mean, in today's age where this is a volunteer service for all of our branches and nobody wants to volunteer anymore, and I think they forget what's happened and what people sacrifice to keep our freedom.
So for all those who served, a flower-lined river is dedicated to you. In Ogden, Kate Garner, ABC4 News.
Thank you, Kate.